These students are also teachers participating in a professional development seminar entitled Getting Started with Active Learning. From the moment Mel Silberman, an international consultant on active learning, begins his session, he's strategizing. His goal is to make the learning experience what he calls brain-friendly.
Hold it up high so I can see how well I've explained this.
So that their brains start to connect it with things that they already understand, rather than just thinking of your students as a set of tape recorders.
Mel's 35 to 40-year journey through teaching continues to be an experiment. He's the author of many publications, including Active Learning, 101 Strategies to Teach Any Subject.
It's important to understand that active learning is just a term. It's a huge term. The way I like to explain it to people is that as a teacher, you understand that your students will learn because they have to do something. You can't learn for them. They have to do something.
All of the A's, let's have you sit right here. So bring your notes with you, because this is the group you're going to be teaching. Today's students are different from when I was in college. That when I was in college back in the 70s, we learned largely by being told things. And so sitting and listening to a lecture in kind of a passive way, that doesn't mean that there weren't good lectures and that students didn't learn. We did learn, but we kind of were programmed for that kind of learning. And today's students aren't. They want to be doing things. So let's go ahead and count off. We'll start over here, and we're going to count off by sixes. So bring themselves.
As Michelle lectures, she incorporates simple activities that involve the students.
I give them some guided notes to fill out so that they are engaged in doing something. Even though primarily they're listening, they are still doing something to process that information, not just passively receiving it.
And you read the reading and worked on it on your own?
One way Linda Russell, a reading instructor from Minneapolis Community and Technical College, incorporates active learning into her reading class is through the use of group activity.
They're very carefully crafted. I can make sure there are at least 2 strong students in every group so that we can spread out the strengths.
Each group has a different reading and becomes an expert on that reading.
I've created test groups now, so there's a representative from each of those readings, and they're going to get together, and together they're going to take this quiz.
This activity is called a jigsaw.
We'll see the students do one part of it, and then they'll go back to their original jigsaw groups, and they'll be checking with each other.
It's helped a lot, I think, with getting different people's ideas and just collaborating together. You end up learning a lot more than just, your own information.
In this environment, students learn how to assess their own learning.
The whole idea behind active learning is that what you're going to hold students accountable for is probably going to be less right and wrong answers and more about their ability to problem solve, to be able to do things, to be able to apply what they learn, not just memorize or regurgitate what they've learned. A teacher's assessment activities are to create assessment responsibilities that are different than the typical blue book kind of examination.
But does active learning cross over to the technology world?
Anything you can do in a classroom, including small group learning, you can do also through electronic learning.
Karen LaPlante teaches at St. Cloud State University in information media.
We do things like flashcards, crossword puzzles. We're going to start doing things that they can download to their MP3 and iPods and take home and work on them.
It's making the connections with the brain that really count.
So when I started getting really interested in how the brain learns and what are the physiological changes that are happening when you learn, well, that ties right in with active learning. You get good at what you spend your time on. So what do we want our students to get better at? Writing, speaking, thinking, expressing their ideas in various ways. So we need to give them practice in doing that.
Mel Silberman says there is a measurable gain in comprehension and retention for students of all abilities when active learning is incorporated into the learning process.
With active learning methods, long-term retention and of course usability can be 5, 10, 15 times greater. because some hard wiring hopefully happened in the brain of the students.
If you give students a set of these, they can play with them and see what do they come up with well enough.
Michelle Neaton's recognized successes in teaching have helped her become a faculty leader at Century College. She's Century College's active learning advocate, coordinating faculty development initiatives and providing training for other faculty who want to learn new, more effective strategies for teaching students who come to college from many backgrounds, with multiple levels of skill and with a wide variety of purposes.
As more faculty become aware of these techniques and start using them, we have that critical mass where everybody's doing it. And so that was the model that we were trying to achieve, was that those people who were the proponents, the advocates for active learning, helped others learn about it.
You can review all of the ideas in one.